So what we're gonna do is a little comparison, how to distinguish between originals and replicas. All right, so we are here in Tepito, and what we're gonna do today, we're gonna go in what's called Mercado 23. So this place has been around for at least 20, 30 years. Generations of families have their areas here where they sell shoes, and this place is famous for selling both originals and replicas. This is a place that has a little bit of a reputation for being dangerous. I'm here accompanied by one of my friends. Today, what we're gonna do, we're gonna check out Mercado 23, talk a little bit about the replicas and the originals, then do a little comparison. Let's go check it out. The minute you step foot inside Mercado 23, you're met by this intense artificial lighting and a labyrinth of sneaker stores spanning throughout the entire indoor market. Within literal seconds of turning the corner, the combination of identical looking sneaker stores and intense artificial lighting made me lose all sense of direction, which, as you could probably guess, makes finding any store in particular, or the exit for that matter, a challenge in and of itself. As you continue down the narrow walkways filled with shoppers and colorful displays of just about any sneaker you could think of, you hear store attendants competing calls coming at you from every angle, asking you what shoe you're looking for, attempting to capture your attention to buy from their store. Speaking of sneakers, due to the nature of this business, it being illegal and all to sell replica sneakers here in Mexico, people that I had talked to preferred to stay off camera, but during one of these chats I was told that there are actually 3 levels of replicas: 1.1, G5, and top quality. Let's do a quick breakdown starting with the 1.1s. So these are noticeably different from the originals. These are generally made of poor quality materials and significantly cheaper in price. G5s tend to look a lot close to the originals, can be made of better quality materials, and cost more than the 1.1s. And top quality is virtually indistinguishable from the original sneaker. Get this, they even come with all the same things, including the same box, tags, QR codes, stickers, even the same authenticity papers. The only difference is that top quality replicas are still cheaper than the originals. We are here at M Sneaker Store. I was told that here they only sell originals, they don't sell replicas. You can see that they have literally everything from sneakers for children, for adults, they have boots, they have sandals. Cool spot. Just now I was talking with the owner of the store. He was telling me how to distinguish between the two, and I could tell you guys about it, but I think it makes a little more sense to show you. So what we're gonna do is a little comparison, how to distinguish between originals and replicas. Alright, so we got the Jordan 1 lows, the sky purple. On this side is the replicas, and on this side is the originals. First thing you notice, this top part is a little different. Not only does it feel a little different material-wise, this one feels a little smoother. You can see it's more firm too. This one holds its shape better, is smoother when I'm pressing in on it, versus the original, not so much. You see how it's coming in and out like that, and when I press, it's a little bit funky. Also, you can see the holes on here. They're smaller on this side, they're a little more spaced out, versus on this side, they're closer together, they're bigger. The stitching is a little more inside on the replica, versus on this side, it's out a little bit more. There's 3 holes on this one, on the replica. There's only 2 on the original. Give you guys a close up there, the 3 on the replica, and the 2 on the original. Laces, honestly, feel very similar. Another interesting thing, talking about the tongue of the shoes. On the replica, it's a little wider. It doesn't feel as strong, the material, versus on the original, a little thinner, but the material feels a lot stronger. It feels a lot more sturdy. On the side, we have lightish purple, versus here is closer almost to a blue. Turn the shoe around real quick. On the original here, we can see the label. It seems a lot closer. It's a little bit smaller, versus on the replica, it's a little bigger, a little more spaced out, and color's different. Underneath here on the replica, it's a little more coarse, it's a little rougher, the material. It's also a little darker. But here it feels a little more smooth. Feels like I have a little more traction on the original. But overall, the bottoms actually look similar. The originals cost about $120, and the replicas cost about $50, give or take. Okay, so these replicas were only 1.1s. One of the major indicators was that they were deformed before I even touched them. Other ways we could tell were the way that they didn't hold their form when I pressed on them, by the noticeable difference in color in comparison to the originals, and the difference in material, price, and logo. Up next, we're going to compare a much higher quality replica. Try to guess what level this one is. This time around, we're gonna play a little game with these Jordan 1 Chicagos. Let me know down in the comments if you guys can spot the difference between which one is the original and which one is the replica. Afterwards, let me know if you got it right. I'll give you guys a few seconds to guess. This one right here is the original, and this one right here is the replica. First, before we dive into the details, this is a really high quality replica. We can kind of see a little bit of a difference. So texture wise, we're looking at the tops of the shoes. We can see this one's kind of a different texture. This one's a little smoother on the replica. The holes are similarly placed and similarly spaced. They just kind of look a little different because of the texture. Here, this material is literally the same. I honestly can't tell the difference. This one though, if you notice, and this is super nitpicky, but this one just goes up a little bit higher on the replica versus on the original, it's a little bit lower. This part going towards the front, the sole area, it's the exact same. The laces, exact same. Tongue, literally, I mean, let me know if y'all can tell the difference because I can't. Same exact material. Let's turn to the side real quick. Side by side, we can see they're a little bit different. The swoosh has a little bit of a different texture. Here on the replica, it's more of a smoother feeling texture. You can kind of see on the original how it's smooth, it's a straight line. Here it's smooth on the replica. You can see how there's little bumps here. Facing towards the back, textures, they're the exact same. You can see here though on the original, it's a little bigger, goes up a little bit versus here, it's smaller. The padding, honestly, so material wise on the inside, these two are the exact same. I would say the original has a little more cushion, but other than that, they're the same. Going towards the tongue, I mean, this is how you know it's a really good quality replica. The tongues are the exact same. They both say made in China. They're both the exact same placement, exact same font, everything. Inside, both the soles are stuck to the shoe. Nothing's lifting up. They also have these side tags. Hopefully y'all can see that there. But side tags are the exact same in both of them. We try to get this one for y'all too. Exact same placement, exact same font, exact same everything. Sometimes in lower quality replicas, the original and the replica will have a different amount of lace holes. But here we can see they're the same. You got the 3 right here, you got the 3 right here, they go all the way up. Nothing's overextending. Side by side, I mean, these things look identical. Going to the soles, I honestly can't tell a difference. If I had to point out one thing, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's these little star pattern on the sole. And the only difference is this one goes down a little further and this one doesn't. Again, this is a super high quality replica and it's almost indistinguishable from the original, in my opinion. I'm gonna give you all a second to guess. How much does the original cost? The original is about $318 versus the replica only costs $70. I mean, that's a $248 difference in between the two. And again, these things are so similar. I would say it's always better to buy the original, but I mean, it's your life. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. But yeah, that blew my mind, honestly. Again, not advocating for buying replicas, but I mean, this is just a fact, at least with this pair. Okay, believe it or not, these were only G5s. Although they were almost identical to the original, there were still a few noticeable differences. For example, in the swoosh material, the difference in the back of the shoes, and of course the price difference. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get us a pair of top quality replicas, but as you can tell from these images, these look identical to the originals when compared side by side. Alright, so that concludes today's video. I want to thank y'all for having come with me on yet another adventure. If y'all have any recommendations for things to do here in Mexico City, in the country generally, let me know down in the comments. I'm eager to explore. I hope y'all learned something new today. I hope y'all enjoyed. And with that said, we are out. Peace.